Hello everybody, first month is here, finally. Today with the in-room, I would say, video about my new folder, the newest folder. Actually, this is the Voyager XL made by Cold Steel on Taiwan. This guy, as I said, is the XL version. I think they, as I said, they used to be 3 versions. This is extra large, XL. There was a large, which is very close in size of the Machina Hunter, about 4 inches blade. And there used to be even a shorter version, which I don't know if that was just Voyager. Okay, what is important, this knife is made out of AUS 10A steel. Is my the very first and only knife made of that steel. And as you can see, if you have seen, and I hope you really seen the test video about this knife, now you can say something is wrong, I would say, compared to the end of that test video, and that is the, of course, fixed broken tip. I decided, which I mentioned, that I decided to fix it for myself, and I'm glad for it because I've learned some more, how to fix my knives. I gave it into hand to my friend which saw the knife before, and he didn't realize that something is wrong on the knife. He didn't trust me until I showed him the video where was the tip broken. So still learning something, how to fix, how to work really with the steels. By the way, to work with this AUS 10A steel is some kind of middle tough steel, if I would say. It wasn't really soft, but it wasn't really big deal. I remember when I did reprofiling on my Bark River Kalahari Bushman 2 made of CPM 3V, where I did reprofiling the edge. That was kind of harder work. Even if that's same thickness it should be, but it is not. So I fixed that, as I said, because I believe it is, if I will send it there, it takes a time, and probably they will definitely will send me back. If new one, then will be the same problem with this. So I just moved this one, and I believe I made a tip because I moved the tip close to the edge, so to the thicker part, so it is a little bit stronger, the tip, but we'll see, time will see. But now I know about dangerous, I mean how fragile this steel, or kind of, it was, I show you after that the thickness on the blade, but it was really maybe under 1 millimeter thickness, which is really tiny, so I believe it will happen with so many another knife. Even I have seen something like that on CPM 3V in different price range, which will be really more painful. So I just did it, and I'm glad for it. Let's go. Oh, by the way, as I said, this one was out of the box the sharpest knife I've ever had. Out of the box. Now this is a modified edge. It's a little bit convex. It is not that even the edge was generally, when I reprofiled it, this one was destroyed. It was 1 millimeter about. So you see. By the way, I stick that couple of phases, as I said, or phases, how to say that. When I did the fixing of the blade, I will stick it in the end of this video. So if you like to, you can see. So the tip. This is the tip, and as you can see, it is slicing nicely. So everything is possible, just we need to learn more. Okay, I'll go to the details because this is important for this video. And I did it. I did some really homework about this knife. I put it in this way because it will be shorter. I just tell you some things. So I hope you've seen everything. So you can stop your video if you like to, and you would like to see all the measurements in centimeters or inches. That will be much more faster than, oh, sorry, the screen. Okay, what is important and kind of interesting, it is it is described on a cold steel page. It should be 31 centimeters, as you can see on the top, 31 centimeters length, I mean overall, or which should be 12.2 of an inches, but it is not. It is not. It is. I'll show you now. By the way, the broken tip was about 5-6 millimeters, definitely no more. So this blade is now shorter than 5-6 millimeters, definitely 1 centimeter is this is a ruler, as you can see, and this is 1 centimeter, and definitely the tip, the broken tip wasn't that long, definitely wasn't. So interesting was, if I put it in this way, I'll try. You can see. I'll try put this one to 0. And you can see I'd like you to see, otherwise I don't want to do that, but I'd like you to see. So it is on the 0, as you can see, and the end of the handle didn't reach the last count, the last number, so 30 centimeters. It is some few millimeters under, actually 3 millimeters under 30 centimeters. So, and as I said, even if that will be 1 centimeter, so it will be still 30.7 millimeters, not 31. Even it should be 31. I've seen two pages, and there was 31.1 or something like that. Don't forget it. So 31 centimeters. So this one will be still even under that, but as I said, there wasn't definitely 1 centimeter. So this knife, that's why I put the stroke here in the middle. I hope you see that. And there is another number, which is 30.3 centimeters or 11.9 of an inch. On the top you can see it somewhere here. So that's real size. That's real size. Of this knife. So sorry, no, that should be the real size. That you can count minus about 6 millimeters, so 29, as we see on the ruler. 29.7 is the size with the broken tip, and with plus the tip it will be the 30.3 centimeters, so 7 millimeter difference, let's say, still, which is about 0.2 of an inch. It is not some, deal, I would say, but it is still interesting. If there is description, which is, and it is not only the thing about the description, about the details, I don't know, it's kind of confusing for me. Okay, this one should be 5.5 inches blade, but counted from real end of the handle of the G10. So to the tip, when it used to be, this one is 13 centimeters exactly. With the blade, we got minus 1 centimeter. This is 1 centimeter. I mean to the real edge. Don't count these sharpening choil, or how we call that. So this is 1 centimeter. So as I said, the whole blade is 13 centimeters. Real edge is 12. Before that it was 12.6. Actually exactly 5 inches. Yes, it was exactly 5 inches. I mean real edge, the sharpness. Okay, that was that. We got, as I said, 5.5, 5.11 now, as it said, but it's not important for you. What is important is when we close it, we got 17 centimeters. This is 17 centimeters, or 6.69 of an inch. And we are going to the part which is the another thing which I said is not exactly good. the thickness description is full 4 millimeters, which I've had tried to where to find it, but really on the whole the blade, if you try to measure it here, there is no 4 millimeters. There is no 4 millimeters. By the way, 4 millimeters 0.157, and I tried to do this one. I got something like that. Maybe you see that it's 3.7 millimeters actually. So it is not really deal, but still, you know. And the problem is that this is the thickest part. As you can see here, it tapers down somewhere here where the rib, I call it a rib, where the rib is. So from here it starts to tapers down, and that's why I said, let's have a look. I just put the number there. So as you can see, it has 1 millimeter thickness where the line here, about, what is that, 2 millimeters somewhere here, 3 millimeters here, and we got 3.5 somewhere there, or maybe it's 3.5, 3.6, but definitely not 4. And even the problem is, even there is not 4 here. You know, I'll try to do this. I'm really on the top. 3.7, 3.8, okay, 3.8 on the thickest part. So it is still not 4 millimeters. And as I said, I'd be happy if that will be really full 4 millimeters, full thickness, at least here, and here should starts to tapers down. So it will be probably, it makes the tip more stronger in my eyes. Or probably, yeah, it will be depend about grinding, but I think in my eyes it will be better. That's it. So still another detail, which is 4 millimeters, is exactly what is on cold steel page. So something wrong again. We got weight 210 grams. By the way, my Lion Steel M5 is 240 plus the sheet, but 240. So, you know, okay, we can really just have a look. I'll try to. Even this is the shorter version. I mean, with the minus 5 millimeters, 6 millimeter the tip. This is much more bigger and longer knife. I'm not saying you can compare it with the toughness. I believe the Sleipner steel is tougher steel because it is tool steel, but this one should hold an edge better. That's I guess definitely because the carbon, the number of carbon inside of it. Okay, and 210 grams. Which should be 7.4 as it described on the page, but it weighs 7.2. That's not a really huge deal. Again, this 2.2 of ounces, which is about 5-6 grams. Definitely not big deal. But compare, you know, it will be, if it will be longer, it will be heavier, you know, and all these details, that will be 4 millimeters, not the 4.6, you know, that's kind of different. I just would like to remind you about my Gurkha Kukri cold steel, where the problem is the same. They describe this 8 millimeters thickness, but after there is some kind of rib like this one, so there is a drop also, and you go from the 7 millimeters to 6 and 5 and, you know, and down. Same as a Tops Machetes, both of them 0.170, 0.230. They described as a 3.3 millimeters, but there is also some kind of rip, and from that place it tapers to stable 3 millimeters. Which is, you know, why somebody says if this is 4 millimeters blade, if generally it is not 4 millimeters. Even the thickest part, I can't measure 4 millimeters. They are 3.8, no more. Same as especially on the Tops Machete, 3.3, but it just drop after the when it's past the handle. Then I said the useful blade or just full blade is just just 3 millimeters. It will be heavier, I know, it will be heavier, but it will be still more durable. Just, okay, why they don't say, okay, the blade is 3 millimeters. The blade here is 3.8. Just put it real, be real, that's it. Carry on about this one. So we got AUS 10A steel. We're going to that a little bit later. We got G10 handles. Somebody says it is kind of sharp or something. To be honest, I don't feel like that. Maybe after long time using, but what is it long time? 15 minutes, 20 minutes of chopping? Maybe, but I didn't chop with that so long time, because I believe this is not described to. And when I hold it in this way for slicing, I don't feel any hot spots. Maybe they've changed something. Maybe they worked on it. They did something. I don't know. Oh, by the way, this is hardened 61 aluminum in it as liners, which is good. It has, of course, 3-yard lock. I love 3-yard lock because that makes the knife really strong. Good is you can put if you are lefty or righty, doesn't matter. You can put clip from both sides. You get 2 clips in box. You got for righties, for lefties. So you got 2 clips. There is a secondary bevel. As I said, this is the best slicer I get out of the box. And which one was a little bit comparable was Mini Aurora, but not that. This one, this blackjack, I think 155 blackjack, was because this is convex from the start. This one was very sharp. This 154 cm, very sharp. And of course this one, because it's hollow grinded, this is very sharp, still very sharp, but this is kind of like a razor, I would say. So in my experience is, if the secondary bevel is, I mentioned in a different video, is 0.8 of millimeters, even less, the knife usually slices very good. And this is 0.7 here, and it used to be, and 0.6 about here, which used to be, but as I said, I reprofiled all these part. I would say all these part is like new one, and I was a little bit worried if that will be still that good slicer, and I am still there, so I'm glad for it. So that's why this is very good slicer, because this is kind of slicey tip blade. So I think there is no much for it. Even okay, if I get bark rivers, I believe the blackjack is made in bark river, so the full convex, then of course that's definitely this zero beveled, so that should be better. Okay. Now let's talk about the steels a little bit. This AUS 10A steel, which sorry, my X fall down. That's good. Can't listen to me probably a long time. AUS 10A, which A means annihilate. I don't know the pronunciation. The point is simply after the hardening process, they put the blades. Let's say put it in this way. These blades. Some for some tempering, for some temperature, and keep it there, which fix the structure of the chemicals things, I would say. I put it in this way, these chemical things in the better order. So something, because when the hardening is, if they put from the high temperature, they put it sometimes into water, sometimes into some oil, plus some chemical things inside, which changes and makes the steel harder. We know it, and they temper these steels, which fix some damages, which that shock when it changes temperature. So it makes the steel simply better. That's why they do it. And the A means that it is like tempered and or annealed. I don't know how we call it, but it should be, as I have read, already. I did some research about it. It should be the same generally. So because there is AUS 8 steel and there is AUS 8A steel. So if I can choose, I go for AUS 8A, and I didn't see the AUS 10 without A, so just without the process, just like this one. So which is better? Okay, what is the difference? What is AUS 8? What is AUS 10? Generally, as I said, the high carbon steel should be 0.95 the carbon inside, over 1, but not really much. The highest here, which I found, is Crovan 1095 vanadium. I think that some K-bar or somewhere that knives are made of that steel. That's much better steel than the just 1095. I don't know if the, let's say, Tops is using just the 1095, because that's really huge difference in these steels. I mean, there is in the vanadium 1095 vanadium is much more there is much more things which makes the steel, I would say, better, because otherwise they will not do it, I believe. And point is, 1095 means 0.9 or more up to 1.1 of the carbon inside of the steel. AUS 8, go back to that, is from 0.7 up to 0.75 carbon in it. So you can really compare with, let's say, 1075, something like that. I mean, in matter of sharpness, how it holds the edge. The problem is if the 1075 is just like that, because we know the carbon makes the steel a little bit vulnerable, you know, so it's going more to break if you do so. That's why they doing, if you want to have the knife which stays some abusing, they make it thicker, or these two things together, they go down with that carbon. So they 1085 or even 1075, which Tops use for a couple of the operator, or how they call the knife. It's a really thick blade, I think 7mm, and 1075 means that knife should stand whatever, but it will not hold the edge. We go to 10 the AUS 8. So I say AUS 8 is 10.7 and 0.75 means somewhere up to 0.8 the carbon, and of course it doesn't hold the edge that's so good as AUS 10, where is the carbon 0.95 up to 1.1 simply, which makes the steel, I mean, with the carbon inside, same as 1095 vanadium. So that's why it holds the edge. It's really sharp when you touch it. You really feel it like on the 1095 steels. You know, that's why people like it, because when you make it sharp, you really feel that we call it like poisonous of the sharpness when you touch it. Oh, wait, yeah. And that's the thing on these. There is different things. So in AUS 10 is plus 0.25 plus up to 35 of carbon more inside. That's why it is more sharp, you feel it. And there is some plus 100 of molybdenum and vanadium, which I don't know how it makes the difference, I mean, compared to AUS 8. So that's why this AUS 10A steel should be more fragile. That's the fragile. But it holds the edge better. So that's why I said in the video when I did the test, I wouldn't be worried to change 1095 steel for this AUS 10A steel and use it always. Why? Because the AUS 10A is same fragile like the 1095, but is rust resistant. So you got two vulnerable steel, but one you need to really care about, and the second you don't really need to care about. So which one will you choose? So always now will be better to have, if you got 10 AUS 10A steel, you can count, okay, I got 1095 steel, but rust resistant. So what will be your choice? I think there's no question for that. So that's why I like it, because I believe if you really use them hard, especially for some prying, you know, they'll break. I mean, if you make two same knives, let's say like Silent Hero, for example, made of these two steels, absolutely same, everything hardening and, you know, these things, I believe they stand and will perform pretty much close. But AUS 10A will be simply rust resistant. You can put it into water and take it tomorrow, and probably there will be nothing on it. And that's really huge, because otherwise you need to probably put some coating on it, which increase the price on 1095, I mean, and you can fix it with this. So, and what is important, when I worked with the AUS 10A, what I did reprofiling, as I said, it wasn't that hard job. Comparable to 1095, yeah, it was a little bit harder, but not that much. So I mean, if they will change the steel and say, okay, but we need, you know, more things because this is hard to work with it, so we need to change this one. We'll spend more I would say the machinery, the sharpening stones, you know, in machines, or how they do it, or simply it takes more energy and etc., but not really much. Not like, let's say, CPM 3V, that I believe that will be really changed in the working process. I don't think it will be a problem of this one. Okay, that's about steels. I'm glad I did this research, because I was really a bit confused what AUS is, what AUS A is, because I sometimes have seen this one, sometimes this one. I say, what? Why? Okay, carry on. Okay, we go to kind of end. Minuses and pluses. This is, as I said, really tiny tip. That's really minus of the knife. And that was important. The clip was too tough, you know. When you try to stick it into your pocket, it really wasn't want to go, especially if you got really, say, a little tactical pants where you got, you know, double stitching and everything. That was really hard. So I unscrewed this one. I really loosened it up by pliers and so on, and it is working pretty now. I have read some comments that some guy, but after years, he broke it. Then it could be probably a problem, because if you can't carry it with that, maybe ask Cold Steel to send the new one back. I don't know if it's possible, or simply make the sheet. I would say I already had in my mind to make a Kydex sheet, maybe, which you can have it like scout carry, you know, so just in this way. So with the sheet, we'll see, maybe I'll do it, but I don't need it now, and it's really comfortable if you can have it in your pocket, because even if it's that long, 17 centimeters, you can't really feel that like that. Okay, that was the minuses, as I know. Of course, I say, okay, the knife could be a little bit thicker, because you can grab it better, but it is further, and you want to have it in your pocket. If they make it in better steel, let's say S35EN steel, which they use it now, of course it will be better. But, you know, I can't call it really like a minus, because there will be increasing price. As I said, pluses. Sharpest knife out of the box, as I said, even with this one, as I said. So, and by the way, the Silent Hero was very sharp, but this one was even better. 3-aught lock, as I said on the use video, I believe the 3-aught lock makes the knife really, I would say, at least 50% tough as a similar size fixed blade. So as you can see, you can baton with it, you can wedge through something, you can really chop with that, do really powerful swings for that, and nothing was really wrong with that, even for up to now. It's my EDC. Actually, I got a company with that, so it is the bigger knife with me. I got it not with me like in the pocket, but with my back. I got it there if I need longer blade for something. The knife can serve you in most of tasks as a fixed blade. There is not really much tasks you can't do with the knife, which you can do with the fixed blade on these, let's say, 5.5 inches blade. Of course, dedicated blade as a Tracker T3, for example, is exactly, as a new one with the full length, exactly same blade, 5.5 inches, but that's dedicated for chopping. That's kind of different blade, you know what I mean. So, but if you take some that's why I got this one here. If you take this knife, which you can do, if you count off the batoning, then probably this knife is not it hasn't something what this knife hasn't also. But this one, you can batoning with that strong, but this one you can use, like as I said, short machete, or even for self-defense with a longer reach if you need it. So that's another advantage. You can use it in a kitchen for carving, because it's very sharp. The belly, it has suitable tip. Not really. This one, you got the belly, so the tip isn't that sharp, like for example the Mini Aurora, of course. But because the ricasso, as I said, that's a huge plus. When you got this one, you still can feel this one. You grab it here, this one, and you fix that. But when you move, the knife sits in your hand and you can slice. You're fine. You can use it, of course, as in a self-defense, as I said, if needed, and as a short machete. Especially if you go around the town. Okay, you go behind the town, but let's say you go to plan, you go back today, or if you don't actually, so you can stay overnight with this. Definitely, there is nothing you can do if you nearly stand. This knife is really weak in prying. If you need to pry, then you will probably destroy the knife. But that's just not really how to use your knife. You know that then you probably need something really strong. Even the Silent Hero, as I said, I got it here. If you try to pry with these, then it will definitely break somewhere here. By the way, I didn't check that. Wow, yes. On that position, as you can see, 1.2 millimeters. Somewhere here, 1.2 millimeters, somewhere here. So it will definitely break somewhere like that. If you do some not good things. By the way, I didn't show it, the Mackinac Hunter, which you can't buy really now, but just the difference about somewhere here is thickness of 1.5 millimeter. There is, and you can see you got the 1 millimeter. So this is twice, and here. Okay, let's just have a look. This is 3.3 millimeters full thickness. This is 3.5, 3.6 as we said. But have a look for the. Yeah, I put it in this way. How thick the tip is compared to this one. So I did batoning, see the video, and the tip survives, everything survives. So this is really much more sturdy blade, because you can see against my forehead. See that? That's the difference. Both holders. Of course, by the way, the AUS 8 should be a little bit stronger, because there is less amount of carbon in it. Okay, closing down. It is full EDC. As I said, if I spoke about machete, if you want to have it, let's have a look. This is sized with Silent Hero, which has longer blade. But when you grab it, and when you want to use it as a machete, it's really comparable. Of course, this is fixed blade, but this one, because the Hawk is better, because you can chop it with Okay, it is full EDC knife, full EDC, so you don't really need anything else. I mean, and another knife for a short time, definitely full EDC. Slice, chop, fight, everything. AUS 10A is very good choice, especially if you think about price and the amount of that what you get for the money you put in. You know, this is CPM 3V. See my Kalahari Bushman, 4mm thick, very tough knife, of course, but you can't really chop with that. As I said, the things which I did, and even the carving with this knife isn't that not that comfortable. It's maybe better handle for it, but the slicing ability of this knife, because the higher secondary bevel, and of that knife, you can't compare it. This is more enjoyable. You can do the work really fast, better, and of course you got the reach, which you don't know. And by the way, you can buy. I can buy here 3 this one for 1 this. Okay, and of course, as I said, the comparable. How light it is, 210 grams, and Lion Steel, just the knife, 240 grams, so 1 ounce, about 1 ounce is this one lighter, and there is no sheath for it, so this is really light. Okay, it was quite long, but I hope I gave you everything, all the information plus the test, so about together over 1 hour about this knife. But I believe this is really good choice, and as I said, I'm not really folder guy, but still I believe there is few folders which I do like. Still want to buy the Spyderco Shaman. Maybe I'll buy another one, another Cold Steel, but not kind of this. But I'm looking for the SR1 or maybe the Tanto or the Clip Point, I don't know, because I like the tough on that folders. That's why I don't like folders, because they're usually weak. You know, why to buy a weak knife? You know, I got plenty, even small blades. Okay, thank you very much. Have a nice time. See you next time. Bye. So this is the Cold Steel XL Voyager with a broken tip, about 5-6 millimeters. So this is how it looks now. And this one is how it should look after my touch on it. We'll see. Well, this is the new shape after the reprofiling the edge. Now I got a tip back, so I need to make an edge, and just have a look how thick the edge is. I can see now. I can see it. So I need to make an edge on it. So here we are, and this is it. This is how I fixed that. This is the fixed edge or blade completely. It is not that slice like before, because this part isn't that tiny, especially here. The tip is it pierces nicely, but I would say 10% less effectively than the before, because this is more thicker now, so this angle on the edge is more steeper than was before. So